I'm gonna pause at the exact section where the Silent Hill Ascension trailer kinda lost me. Hang along for a tiny bit of my explanation, right?
I can feel it. Your guilt.
And there, you lost me. So, there's this very big misconception that Silent Hill is the weird franchise about, the town that makes you face your demons from your past, right? The thing is that, if we're counting the good games in the franchise, there's only one where that is actually the case. The multitude of the franchise actually revolve around this cult that lives in the town of Silent Hill, right? And that have their religion devoted around the return of their god. There's only one game, which, mind you, is perceived to be the best game in the franchise. The second game, which is about the guilt in the town, manifesting creations to sort of guilt trip the guy, right? You can learn more if you want to have an actual deep dive into this topic by watching The Real Silent Hill Experience by Twin Perfect. Cautionary advice. This video franchise started 12 years ago, so there's going to be a little bit of that, 2010s internet reviewer stuff that might seem a bit cringy nowadays, like a few skits or whatever. In case you see those, just skip them. Just skip the cringy parts, and only when they're like talking about the games or whatever, watch it there, right? Because the thing is that I think that they provide a very excellent insight into what the franchise is actually about. The problem that a lot of the later Silent Hills had, right? The ones that came after 4, so like the second half of the entire franchise essentially, right? Is that a lot of those franchises would kind of miss the point and started treating Silent Hill more as like, oh, it's a spooky town where if you have trauma, that trauma will manifest itself as like a demon or whatever to eat your ass. The games that are good were never about the monsters, if that makes sense. They were only as good as the story they were telling, which usually tended to revolve around essentially the cult that was somewhat haunting or stalking a person, right? And within those games, the monsters were never the creepy part, and to an extent, outside of the disturbing subtext of the story, even that might have been only disturbing. The real scares and the real, way the franchise earned that, reputation as the scariest game, you can see it very clearly in the playthrough I do of Silent Hill 3, is that it is the silence, it is the audio design, and it is the very abstract and sort of nonsensical nightmare way of engaging with the world, right? Like, the levels are extremely liminal, if that makes sense. There is very little maybe stuff going on, but it's the constant fear of what might be around the corner, and the constant questions you're asking yourself, with that uncomfortableness with the enemy design, where it's like, is that thing trying to eat me or fuck me? But I don't want to really know either way, right? Like, that stuff, that is, in a sense, what the actual visceral Silent Hill experience fear kind of is, right? And a lot of that gets lost the moment you start bringing up stuff like, oh, it's the past and you did maybe a traumatic thing in the past and now you're gonna get punished for it by the town of Silent Hill. Yeah, again, we'll have to wait until the thing comes out. The weird thing is that it's supposed to be it's as if Until Dawn, but you as the community decide what happens next. So I have the sneaking suspicion that if they don't build a failsafe in this thing, whoever's going to be watching that stream is going to be deciding okay, first decision, let's run up into the enemy. Yes, mommy, touch me. That kind of stuff. It's going to be all kinds of crazy, wacky stuff, I imagine, which is probably not what the game developers intended, but it'll be fine, right? Silent Hill is about more than just, oh, it's your guilt coming to get you. It's about the cult. It's about loss of bodily autonomy. It's about how far religious extremists will go to ruin the world for everyone, right? And to, even if they perceive the waking nightmares they're creating as gods, you as the player have to traverse and stop them because, you don't want them to birth Satan's butthole onto the world, right? It's something like that, but usually all of the developers over the years have all looked at Silent Hill 2 and been like, oh yeah, we want to do that too, and then have proceeded to make mediocre variations and copies off of that, right? So in this case, you could make the argument that, hey, we haven't had the Silent Hill in so long that anything is probably better than nothing, right? And to that I say, I don't know. I'm gonna be skeptical, because to me this looks like the things I'm seeing here, right? Which again, they're rendered fine. They look like a good PS4, PS5 game, right? These things to me feel less like Silent Hill and feel more like Evil Within. They feel more like stuff from the Evil Within, right? They look like they could come right out of that, which isn't bad. Evil Within was also very fun and good. However, it was a totally different type of franchise, right? I feel it fits more easily in with these creatures, designs, and aesthetic than Silent Hill, if I'm gonna just be honest. Which, again, that's not to say it's gonna be bad. This is the weirdest experiment thing they're gonna do with it. However, if this is the first big trailer for this Silent Hill revival they're releasing, and this is what you have to show for it, I don't know. If this is the tone that the new ones are all going to be following, I am very skeptical for what Silent Hill is going to be in the future. And I am afraid that we're just going to get a repeat of what they were doing in the 2010s era, which was just making kind of shitty, underwhelming sort of spin-offs and sequels that didn't really amount to much, right? Anyway, with that said, I wanted to say this. If you are excited for this game, let me know in the comments below. And again, don't worry. Like, maybe this thing will be good. Who knows, right? Maybe I will be eating my words. I actually wish I would eat my words, you know? I wish that this is going to turn out way better than what I am suspecting. And that's only because I am kind of afraid and stuff like that, right? It is me. The problem here is me. Maybe what they're eventually are going to end up making is going to be perfectly fine, and everyone's going to love it, and everyone's going to be happy with it, and I hope so as well. With that said, I would like you to, let me know what you think of this trailer. Maybe you are less skeptical than me. And outside of that, if you wish, maybe subscribe for more and comment down below what you want to see next from the channel. I'm very sorry. This is a quick little video I just wanted to make because, this thing released and got to catch that algorithm wave, right? Just kidding. Take care, everybody. Bye.